Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. I'm sorry if the mic was a little wonky for a sec. I keep forgetting that I'm recording on the days that I choose to wear turtlenecks, so there's nowhere to attach the lapel mic to. So I was sent by the temple to deliberate my findings for the Lunar Lounge. I'm just checking the time of the full moon being in Virgo. That'll be 1700 hours, 47 minutes on the 9th of March. That's Nova de Marzo. And that is Greenwich Mean, which means, well, London is 8 hours ahead of the West Coast of the United States. Okay, 5 hours ahead of New York. I call New York knock knock. So knock knock time, it'll be noon 47, 12 hours, 47 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna do a solar spread here. Again, my name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today, also known as the Vosi Baba. I wanna welcome you to Vertex of Abundance, Temple of Galactic Ascension. You know, for me, I just want to remind you to check the show notes. There's some resources there for you. There is a flash sale going on. And I just want to begin. Okay, so we already have some of the energias. Okay, so we have the wild card in the center, which means that the central energy is really the guidance. So we're in Virgo. Virgo is the Hermit card. It typically talks about a Brahmin. Why? Because Virgo is pure discernment in the physical. It talks about piecing through the material reality to find soul's wisdom in the physical. How does a person bring their infinite, eternal wisdom into the physical? Through experience, consciousness experience. So the mind is normally a manifestation of the ego. It is a physical organ. However, the mind and the brain are different. They might be located in the same place, but they're not necessarily the same thing. So what separates them? Right knowledge, right way, right living, right sight, right action. And discernment is what determines that. So that's why we have Virgo. And with a moon in Virgo, especially a full moon, we're gonna have culminations, endings, wrap-ups, completions along the area of our soul's consciousness. Our soul's wisdom is gonna be on a subtle level, on a spiritual level. Wow, I'm agitated and annoyed here. Okay, so what falls to the floor comes to the door. We have be still, and then in the conscious mind, We have compassion in the subconscious mind. We have unconditional love, and that's from Nadi Anastasia's Cosmic Activation Cards for the Soul. I'll impose my guidance at the end. Let us begin. So the ascending energy here is about a cycle, bringing a cycle to completion. It starts out in the physical realm as a spiritual intention. We're on this place where we're healing on a soul level through emotions. A lot of them will be, oh, gosh, geez, they're not pulling punches today. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to get right to it, but pardon me, this is going to be a little bit intense. Stuck on stupid sensations is what I heard. We're attached to things that we thought the coulda, shoulda, woulda, you know, could have been, should have been, how it was back in the when we were less encumbered, but we were also less wise. We weren't standing in our personal power. Okay, so we're wanting to go back to places where we felt better, where things were easier, where we had comfort, ease, especially on an emotional level. But those weren't times that were beneficial for us. We were stupid back then, basically. And gosh, pardon me. You know, we have 2 6s here in this descending energy. So how things manifest is that we've been sitting in this foundation. We've been hoping, wishing, praying for something to come in, not to conjure something up, manifest something, but we're at the threshold of some emotional consciousness. And we really need to move on into calmer waters, but we need to use the mind. We need to use the mind as a witness to complete a cycle that has been difficult. But see, we needed to be stuck on stupid. We needed to be loving, heart open, giving to something that was really quite ludicrous in order to get to this outcome that we're at. That's gonna be difficult, but it's gonna be a final ending. So, you know, you grow through what you go through. Sometimes you gotta be a little bit foolish and foolhardy to even get in the door. Sometimes what'll give you the drive, what'll get you progress is the initial level of excitement. And by the time the excitement fades out, you've had some type of experience that'll keep you going. Keep in mind, like maybe for instance, you're going to the gym. The first couple of times you go to the gym, your muscles are gonna hurt and stuff. But after the time you're like, okay, I can't take this anymore. My muscles ache. You should have seen a result or two, found a muscle or two you probably didn't know you had. By that time, there's other motivations to get through the initial excitement of, right? So it's kind of like this here, you know, beginner's luck really does exist. It's usually only in the beginning because you have no doubts. You're not showing up with the list of reasons why it should work, why it shouldn't work, with the laundry list of could have been, should have been. You know, it's just you're showing up with excitement, with a vision, an image, a desire, a drive for the future, right? You don't have this list in your mind of how things should go, what they should be. So now we're in this place right now where we think, okay, this could have happened, this could have happened, this should have happened, this should have happened. And it's bringing up a lot of things to heal from, a lot of wounding. You know, 2 6s in a reading, it means inequality issues, especially in a romantic reading. It would mean inequality issues. Creativity is needed if it's non-romantic. And it's about weighing up your options. You should have had a naive self. You should have had a nostalgic self. There should have been some past part of yourself that needed to be cleansed and purified, but where you were also impressionable. Maybe you weren't impressionable, but things could be oppressed upon you, not to impress you, but to impress upon you how to move on, move forward. What? Through opportunities, obstacles, and objectives, objections as well. There's this place of power. It's an emotional consciousness. It's a threshold where things cross over and they get given the energy to manifest on into something. But we only manifest things that are nostalgic, that are comfortable. And sometimes uncomfortable experiences grow you a lot more than comfortable experiences. Sometimes you learn a lot more at a rock bottom than you ever do at a mountaintop. And this is the challenge here. This coulda, shoulda, woulda. We're hoping, wishing, praying for something that's never gonna come, that was never gonna be. And the obstacle really was our own self, our own thinking. So that's what this full moon is gonna permeate, penetrate, perpetuate, is the lack of discernment, the lack of self-discernment, the lack of applying discernment to our own selves. You know, there's a lot of things that are in the light, but we think we're in the light, and really we're running around the light, ignoring our own darkness, so we can't grow. You know, if you keep getting wounded, if you keep getting victimized, you need to realize, okay, yes, this might not be my fault, but it is my responsibility. I'm the common denominator here. What is alive in me that's attracting these conscious experiences to me? Maybe you're super sparkly and you need to dim your light. I doubt it. I wouldn't suggest it. But if you don't even have the thought, you're disempowered. If a negative thought makes you tense up and makes you resistant, that's a problem. You can just say, okay, I'm having an experience. These thoughts don't align with me. These don't resonate with who I think I am, how I think I am, who I think I'm becoming. Let me just unalign with this, versus the whole drama Mina story of like, oh my gosh, fainting because I'm having a negative thought. I'm trying to dramatize an idea. I don't feel like it's coming across. The good and the bad and the ugly, they make up the whole. If you're all about love and light, you need to realize that the more light you cast, the more shadow is going to be around you. Maybe not you, but if there's a more of a quotient of light, an amount of light, the more light there is, the more potentiality there is for shadow. Is when the light dims, the shadow also disappears. Now, if that doesn't make sense and you're in your mind qualifying, arguing, trying to understand mentally, theoretically, with your mind, with your brain, and your soul's wisdom knocking on the door, raising its hand saying that resonates. Because the shadow of a Virgo mind is the tit for tat, the laundry list, the making things wrong, the making things bad, the blaming, the taking an inventory, sizing people up, judging because they don't do things the way you do them. I'm not attacking Virgos here. What I am doing, though, is saying that the full moon typically is a release of a shadow thing, alive inside. Let's look at the opposite. When the sun moves through a sign, typically it's the illumination, enlightenment of that kind of idea. So the sun's moving through Virgo right now. I mean, the sun's moving through Pisces right now. Things that are going on behind the scenes, things that are going on the soul level, things that are ancestral, things that are hidden, meaning sleep, other realms, other natures, subtle parts of yourself. Not so much your subtle body, not so much your shadow self, but like your eternal self. The part of you in combination to the whole. The part of you compared to the totality. The part of you that you can't know because when you incarnate into a body, you forget it. The part of you that you only remember when you dream. Opposing that energy would be the full moon, because the moon is full when it's opposite the sun. Well, the sun is right now in Pisces, the moon is in Virgo. Okay, well, what is a full moon? The full moon is a culmination, a release of something on the soul level, on a subtle body. You're releasing your relationships to lack of discernment. You're releasing your relationships to judgment, mislabeling, judging, misperceiving kinds of things. You're going to let go a lot of your thought processes and barriers to your eternal manifestations. Sun manifesting, Pisces, eternal, spiritual, Akashic. So we're starting this journey off with figuring out what our options are, learning how to have proper discernment. And we're ending with illumination, enlightenment, but it'll come through difficulties. Taking another stand, going about it the hard way, being willing to put in a little bit of hard work, especially on a spiritual level, emotional level, on a soul level, pushing yourself a little bit, but not the kind of pushing where you're responding to pressure. You decide how far you push yourself. Because then you end in a completion, a culmination, but it also talks about a descension into the physical. And this is more of a heavenly realm. Even if it's the 10 of Swords, you get into Orion. Orion is actually the gate to heaven. Because you need to use discernment to move on and move through things that are difficult. And if you balk, if you're like, oh, this is uncomfortable, let me run away, instead of saying, okay, why is this difficulty here? Why is it all of a sudden? What is this calling me to do? What is my objective here? You know, what's alive in me now that I'm processing a little bit of difficulty? That's actually much more healthy than saying, oh, this doesn't feel right, let me run. I'm not saying you need to get in it, you go through it. I'm not saying you need to condone it, give to it. I'm not saying you need to experience the difficulty, but you need to process it. Get past the point of reactivity. You know, I would like to do one more. Okay, we have the Emperor, Judgment card, and the Lovers. So we're in this place of nostalgic healing. Some old former part of ourself is driving this cycle, and we need to take another stand. We might be a little defensive, a little weary, a little bruised and battered, wounded. And we move into discernment, moving on, moving forward, clearly past something else that was no longer serving us. We might have needed to negotiate, navigate something that was rather difficult. And influencing that is literally a difficult cycle. So we start out needing to build system structures and foundations from our ideas, from our beliefs, means, mechanisms, methodologies, are giving, theory, techniques, technologies are giving over to our system structures, foundations. We need to use our talents, our crafts, our abilities, our insight, our wisdom, our intellect, reasoning, communication in order to build some type of foundation. Said foundation will be allowing emotional conscious frequencies to come through and stimulate, motivate a moving through, a passing through, a moving on from things that have been ultimately difficult. These things have ultimately been difficult. The purpose is to make a formal, high-minded decision from the soul's wisdom. It's a choice to sink or swim, really. You know, this reading is making me very sleepy and tired. Something's draining. Those are my findings. I'm going to impose my guidance here. We'll be reading from Nadia Anastasia's Cosmic Activation Cards for the Soul, card number 5, from page 31. Be still. The mind is still, the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders, Lao Tzu. Prayer. Great Spirit, lead me towards still waters within myself so that I may find peace. Be still, breathe, find that well of tranquility and serenity within you. There are times when life feels chaotic. Circumstances and relationships test and challenge you with conflicting emotions and inner storms. Sometimes your emotions are felt deeply, and you may have moments of outbursts that express pain and inner rage. Feel the emotions and try to understand what has come forth from you. See the origins from which this reaction was born. There will always be triggers, dear one, and storms will pass, but how you react makes all the difference to the severity and the longevity of the storm. Who you are is best seen when you are challenged, pressured, and put to the test. Ugh, I hate that, but it's true. Will you react with rage, spite, or bitterness, or with peace, with love, and with compassion? If you react with anger and spite, do not be disheartened. Simply see that this is where you are at this time. Be gentle with yourself and go within to explore the deepest recesses of your hidden self. Find the root of why your reactions are so. Send this part of you love and compassion and feel the healing light of love spreading through your entire being. Dear one, you are the love, peace, tranquility, and serenity that you seek. It is in you. It is you. Know it, feel it, and be it. Be the peace that others seek. Be the stillness that you crave. Be the compassion that others need. It is in this stillness that there is clarity and peace. Go forth, dear one, and be that gentle voice that calms the storm. Again, the prayer, Great Spirit, lead me to still waters within myself so that I may find peace. So the associated chakras are the sacral and the solar plexus. So as I was saying, we're going to come to places where we're triggered and we're going to react instead of respond. We're going to say, oh, God, this is scary. I can't process this, versus saying, okay, wow, this is unpleasant. What is it calling me to do here right now? What alive in me manifested this, called this, triggered this? And from that place, we can go on, because our foundation should be all is full of love. I'm hearing that Bjork song. Our foundation should be unconditional love. That's a non-judgmental place. It doesn't mean it co-signs BS. It doesn't mean that it gives and signs up and tolerates toxic behavior. But it has a level of understanding, a maturity saying, okay, even though I don't feel this is right, I know that this is here for a reason, and let me have compassion for the other person, place, or thing, exhibiting these behaviors, creating the stimuli in the environment that I don't agree with, that I don't align with. I can have peace and love. I can have compassion as I unalign with this. Being non-judgmental, not making them bad, not making them wrong. This is not a moral judgment to this person's character, to this situation's character or viability. This is a value judgment saying that this doesn't align with me and I'm going to take my energies elsewhere. And out in the conscious mind, compassion, when you do have to judge, when you do need to make a value judgment and be like, okay, if this doesn't work for me, I need to go, but I have compassion and no hatred and no harm done towards the people, the places, and the things where I had this experience. Make a choice to love, to do things lovingly. And to do that, you need to have a firm sense of self-love. Knowing who you are, having a healthy sense of boundaries. So that's what's coming for the 14 days after the full moon. That'll be from the 9th of March until the 24th of March. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. Again, my name is Supreme Priestess Gorgeous. I was your oracle today, also known as the Blosi Baba. If anything that was said resonates deeply with you, you can reach me at oracle@priestessgorgeous.org or check the links in the show notes below. If you'd like a discount on a Divine Lovers Assessment between the 7th and the 10th of March, it's 63% off with coupon code 1063. That's 1063. Link is in the show notes. Now, between the 11th and the 13th, 54% off. The coupon code is 1354, 1354. And up until the 17th, there's a 45% discount. And that is 1745 is the coupon code. Now that's just the Divine Partnership Assessment. If you're signing up for the Mystery School or anything along those lines, I forgot the coupon code. It's in the show notes, and that'll cover a spiritual wellness evaluation, primal soul assessment, spiritual counsel, or a Divine Partnership Assessment. Now it's 27% off, and it's gonna last until the 22nd of March. Now you can only use one of these coupon codes, so it's a staggering discount. Just check the show notes if you have a little bit of confusion, and proceed accordingly. All of the discounts other than the 27% off one will only be for Divine Partnership. It'll only be a video. There will be no live counsel. Okay? Taking care of yourself until we meet again, until we meet again. Namaste, Dandava, and Ashe. Bye-bye, everyone.